Both in my time, one tried to kill me, the other saved me. Know the difference now. I used to reach for whiskey when the world came down hard. The amber and the burning in the back of the yard, of my throat and in my chest and in the floor of the night. The kind of medicine that puts you down before the fight. It's finished with your body and your dignity and more. I lost 3 years to whiskey in the mid-2004. Through 7 stretches of nothing but the bottle in the dark, till somebody showed me green, and green lit up the spark. Whiskey and green are not the same kin. Whiskey takes everything, and green lets you begin again in the morning with your name still on your tongue. Whiskey and green, and I chose the right one. Whiskey burns going down, whiskey leaves you on the ground. Green lifts up what the whiskey tried to drown. Green is the rising, whiskey was the crown of thorns I wore. Whiskey and green, yeah. Green don't steal the years the way the brown liquor does. Green don't leave you waking up not knowing where you was. Green don't pick the fights, and green don't crash the borrowed car. Green sits down beside you slow wherever you are. He says what happened, and I listen without need of the drama and the escalation and the creed of the self-destruction that the bottle always preached. Whiskey and green is what I reached for last. Whiskey and green are not the same kin. Whiskey takes everything, and green lets you begin again in the morning with your name still on your tongue. Whiskey and green, and I chose the right one. Whiskey burns going down, whiskey leaves you on the ground. Green lifts up what the whiskey tried to drown. Green is the rising, whiskey was the crown of thorns I wore. Whiskey and green, yeah. I don't judge the ones who drink, I understand the draw of something that quiets down the loudness and the raw edge of living in a world that doesn't slow for anyone. I just know the whiskey was a race I always lost, and green was the alternative that didn't have that cost. Written on the body in the morning and the lost time that I can't reclaim. Whiskey and green, and I know the difference in the name, but what it does to you. Now I keep the green and let the whiskey have its place on other people's shelves where I can see it without the chase. For the wanting and the needing and the can't stop now disease. Whiskey and green is who I please. Whiskey burns going down, Yeah, know the difference. Whiskey and green. Green saved me. Yeah, whiskey and green. Green wins. Not just tired, bone tired, the kind of sleep don't fix. Yeah, I came home with the bone tied riding on my back, the kind that goes down deeper than the physical track. Settles in the marrow where the rest don't reach, in the place behind the place where the normal cures can't breach. I sat down on the floor before I made it to the chair that kinda tied, where the furniture is too far to bear. She was waiting on the table like she knew before I did. Bone-tied blues, and she lifted up the lid of the weight. Bone-tied blues, going all the way down. Bone-tied blues, the heaviest in town. Nothing touches it except a slow and certain grace. Bone-tied blues and the smile on my face. Bone-tied blues, yeah. She knows it's tied well. Bone-tied blues, yeah. She breaks the tied spell. Bone-tied blues, down to my last nerve. Bone-tied blues, she gives what I deserve after all of it. Bone-tied blues, yeah. I remember the year that the bone tie didn't lift, when the weeks ran into months without a proper shift of the needle from the heavy to the manageable weight. I was running on the borrowed and the artificially straight. She was the one who finally told the body to release. She was the ambassador between the war and the peace, inside the chest that forgot what resting felt like. Bone-tied blues, and she turned out every light in the worry. Bone-tied blues, going all the way down. Bone-tied blues, the heaviest in town. Nothing touches it except a slow and certain grace. Bone-tied blues and the smile on my face. Bone-tied blues, yeah. She knows this tied well. Bone-tied blues, yeah. She breaks the tied spell. Bone-tied blues, down to my last nerve. Bone-tied blues, she gives what I deserve after all of it. Bone-tied blues, yeah. There ain't no shame in bone-tied, and there ain't no shame in need. There ain't no shame in reaching for the natural remedy. The blues man knew it, and the field workers knew it too. The earth provides the answer for the ones who work straight through. Bone-tied blues is just the body telling you the truth, that rest is not a weakness, it's the most ancestral proof that you were made for more than just the grinding of the days. Bone-tied blues, and she restores the haze back to peace. So I honor the bone-tie when it comes, and I receive the healing that she offers, and I willingly believe that the leaf and the rest and the long exhale of the night. Bone-tied blues, and she always makes it right. Bone-tied blues, yeah. She knows this tied well. Bone-tied blues, yeah. She breaks the tied spell. Bone-tied blues, down to my last nerve. Bone-tied blues, she gives what I deserve after all of it. Bone-tied blues, bone-tied blues, floor to ceiling. Yeah, she lifts it all. Bone-tied blues, sleep now. Train comes through at 11, never stops here, just passes like everything else. I grew up in a railroad town where the train passed through, but never stopped for anyone, including me and you. The long whistle in the middle of the night was the sound of everything the wide world had that never came around. I sat on Daddy's porch and watched the freight cars blur on by, wondering what the cities look like underneath that same sky. She was always on the porch with me when the train went past. Railroad town, and she made the small world feel vast. Railroad town, where the train don't stop. Railroad town, giving all we got, but the leaf made the small town large enough to bear. Railroad town, and she was always there. Railroad town blues, watching the train roll through. Railroad town blues, she knew what I've been through. Railroad town blues, the whistle in the night. Railroad town blues, she made it feel alright. Railroad town blues, yeah. Some of us left and some of us stayed in the railroad town, and leaving or staying both had their own kind of crown of the particular sadness that the railroad always brings. The ones who left the porch and the ones who kept watching things pass by without stopping on the track behind the grain. I made my peace with staying somewhere deep inside the pain. She helped me find the beauty in the small and the unchanged. Railroad town and the love that I arranged within it. Railroad town, where the train don't stop. Railroad town, giving all we got, but the leaf made the small town large enough to bear. Railroad town, and she was always there. Railroad town blues, watching the train roll through. Railroad town blues, she knew what I've been through. Railroad town blues, the whistle in the night. Railroad town blues, she made it feel alright. Railroad town blues, yeah. Now I'm older and the railroad still runs the same track, and the train still blows its whistle, heading out and never back. But I found something in the staying that the leaving didn't offer. The roots that grow the slowest make the tallest in the proper tree that weathers every season. Standing where it was, she helped me love the railroad town for nothing but because it's mine, and the smoke above the porch is mine. Railroad town blues, and everything is fine. So I sit on the same porch where I sat as a young man, with the same leaf in my fingers and a different kind of plan for the life I'm living in the town the train flies through. Railroad town blues, and she always sees me through. Railroad town blues, watching the train roll through. Railroad town blues, she knew what I've been through. Railroad town blues, the whistle in the night. Railroad town blues, she My mama raised me in the church. The church raised me fine, but I found my own congregation. Yeah. Yeah. Grew up in the front pew every Sunday morning pressed, collar straight and shoes polished, and a hymnal on my chest. Mama sang the alto and the preacher shook the room. I believed in everything they said, but not the gloom and doom. They preached about the vices and the ways the flesh could fall, but they never once addressed the weight behind the wall, or the chest that carries more than any sermon ever knew. Till I found the leaf and felt what the earth can really do. The preacher's congregation don't know what I know. Preacher's benediction doesn't cure the low. I found my own altar in the evening, and the smoke and the peace that settled after was more sacred than they spoke. Preacher's daughter blues, she found me where I stood. Preacher's daughter blues did what the sermon never could. Preacher's daughter blues, in the evening on my knees. Preacher's daughter blues, the finest kind of ease. Preacher's daughter blues, yeah. Mama never knew, and I don't carry guilt about it. The God I know is in the earth, and I don't doubt it. She said the Lord made everything that grows beneath the sky, and I took her at her word and stopped asking why. The leaf came from the same good earth as every herb she named, as the lavender and the sage and the things she always claimed were medicine and blessing from the ground up to the hand. Preacher's daughter blues, and now I understand. Preacher's congregation don't know what I know. Preacher's benediction doesn't cure the low. I found my own altar in the evening, and the smoke and the peace that settled after was more sacred than they spoke. Preacher's daughter blues, she found me where I stood. Preacher's daughter blues did what the sermon never could. Preacher's daughter blues, in the evening on my knees. Preacher's daughter blues, the finest kind of ease. Preacher's daughter blues, yeah. I don't condemn the pew, and I don't tear down the steeple. Every soul finds its own road, and I love my people. But the altar that I kneel at in the late and holy hour rose up from the ground and has its own almighty power. The smoke that rises upward in the evening is my prayer. The exhale is my amen, and the peace is always there. Preacher's daughter blues, forgive me if I stray, but I found salvation in my own God-given way. So I bow my head in gratitude for the earth and what it yields, for the ancient growing medicine of the gardens and the fields. Preacher's daughter blues, she heard my quiet call, and she showed me there was grace enough for all. Preacher's daughter blues, she found me where I stood. Preacher's daughter blues did what the sermon never could. Preacher's daughter blues, in the evening on my knees. Preacher's daughter blues, the finest kind of ease. Preacher's daughter blues, yeah. Preacher's daughter blues, yeah. Found my own church, yeah. Preacher's daughter blues. The earth is my altar, yeah. preacher's daughter blues. Amen. Amen. 5 days a week, they on 5 days. The other 2 are mine and hers. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Monday came with his old familiar weight upon my back. The inbox and the overtime and the keeping of the track of everything they need from me before the sun goes down. I've been pulling on this chain since they first hired me in this town. 5 days a week I wear the uniform of the employed. 5 days a week I give the hours and the voice. But when the Friday whistle blows and the weekend opens wide, I reach for her, the only one who takes the chain from my side. Chain gang feeling Monday through to Friday. Chain gang feeling lifting every single day, but the evening and the weekend are the hours that I earn. Chain gang feeling and the freedom that I learned. Chain gang feeling, yeah. All week long I pull. Chain gang feeling, yeah. They take their field. Chain gang feeling drops when I light the flame. Chain gang feeling, she pushed down every chain. Chain gang feeling gone. Worked a lot for 30 years and some, and never once complained about the way the wood had done. To his back and to his spirit in the decades of the grind. He kept the garden, though a real one of his own design. He said the garden was the answer to the chain gang day. The thing he grew was his and no employer took that away. I carry on that wisdom with the garden that I keep. Chain gang feeling fades and the peace runs deep. Chain gang feeling Monday through to Friday. Chain gang feeling lifting every single day, but the evening and the weekend are the hours that I earn. Chain gang feeling in the freedom that I learned. Chain gang feeling, yeah. All week long I pull. Chain gang feeling, yeah. They take their fill. Chain gang feeling drops when I light the flame. Chain gang feeling, she puts down every chain. Chain gang feeling gone. There's a man who owns the building where I spend my daylight hours. He don't know my name, but he counts my labor powers into the spreadsheet of the bottom line and the return, while I count the hours to the evening that I earn. The chain gang feeling is the tax the system takes, and she is the refund that the evening always makes. I cash it every night and I enrich in what I find. Chain gang feeling gone and freedom in my mind, so I carry through the week the knowledge of the night that the chain gang feeling ends when I finally light the ritual of the earned rest and the rightful peace. Chain gang feeling and this long-awaited release. Chain gang feeling, yeah. All week long I pull. Chain gang feeling, yeah. They take their fill. Chain gang feeling drops when I light the flame. Chain gang feeling, she puts down every chain. Chain gang feeling gone. Yeah. Chain gang feeling gone, gone Friday. Yeah. She takes the chain. Chain gang feeling weekend's mine. Yeah. Chain gang feeling free. Come here when the world is loud. Just me and the ones who don't talk back. Sat down in the graveyard on a Tuesday afternoon, between the stones of people who stopped seeing the moon. I lit one for the silence and I let the smoke rise up. Figured the ones below deserve to share from the cup of the living and the breathing in the evening overhead. There ain't no better conversation than the ones you had with the dead. They don't argue and they don't advise and they don't have a claim. They just let you sit beside them in the quiet of their name. Graveyard blues settling in my bones. Graveyard blues in the place between alone and the company of the ones who don't need anything. Graveyard blues and the quiet that they bring. Graveyard blues, yeah. Sitting with the gone. Graveyard blues, yeah. Lighting one at dawn. Graveyard blues. The smoke goes up above. Graveyard blues. Carrying all my love to the ones who left too soon. Graveyard blues, yeah. My Uncle James is buried in the eastern corner there. He used to roll them same as me with the same unhurried care. He said the leaf was sacred and the earth was where it came. And when he left I scattered some above his family name. I think about his hands sometimes, the way they move so sure. The ritual he taught me before I knew the cure was not the leaf alone, but the intentional and slow communion with the living things before we have to go. Graveyard blues settling in my bones. Graveyard blues in the place between alone and the company of the ones who don't need anything. Graveyard blues and the quiet that they bring. Graveyard blues, yeah. Sitting with the gone. Graveyard blues, yeah. Lighting one at dawn. Graveyard blues. The smoke goes up above. Graveyard blues. Carrying all my love to the ones who left too soon. Don't scare me like it used to when I was young and fast. I learned from sitting in this garden that nothing's meant to last. And the not lasting is the beauty that the Russian tries to hide. Graveyard blues and the leaf and the long slow tide. The afternoon rolling over the stone and the name and the man who sat between the living and the flame of the memory and the missing and the love that stays behind. Graveyard blues, the finest peace of mind. So I come here when the city gets too loud in my head. I come here for the counsel of the eloquently dead. I light one for each name I know and one for names unknown. Graveyard blues, the finest place I've ever called my own. Graveyard blues, yeah. Sitting with the gone. Graveyard blues, yeah. Lighting one at dawn. Graveyard blues. The smoke goes up above. Graveyard blues. Carrying all my love to the ones who left too soon. Graveyard blues. Graveyard blues, yeah. For Uncle James, for all of them. Graveyard blues. The smoke carries them home, yeah. Graveyard blues. Sun ain't even up yet, but the weight already is. I rise before the rooster and the roosters rise early. The kind of morning that comes in gray and surly. Before the coffee and before the day decides to shade, I reach for morning medicine before I can't escape. The feeling that the night left sitting on my chest, the kind of daylight doesn't fix and sleep won't lay to rest. She's been my morning medicine since the calendar turned gray. The only honest doctor that I know to this day. Morning medicine, going down slow. Morning medicine, letting the body know that the day is survivable and worth the getting through. Morning medicine, doing what medicine do. Morning medicine, yeah. She gets me on my feet. Morning medicine, yeah. Makes the bitter taste sweet. Morning medicine, in the early light. Morning medicine, she always sets me right. Morning medicine, yeah. Yeah. My daddy had his coffee and my mama had a prayer. I found my morning medicine and kept it close with care. 3 generations in this family reaching for the cure of the morning and its heaviness and what the night endures. She don't need a prescription, she don't need a pill. She goes up from the earth and she kills against the will. No side effects except the quiet and the slow. Morning medicine teaching me what the morning people know. Oh, morning medicine, going down slow. Morning medicine, letting the body know that the day is survivable and worth it getting through. Morning medicine, doing what medicine do. Morning medicine, yeah. She gets me on my feet. Morning medicine, yeah. Makes the bitter taste sweet. Morning medicine, in the early light. Me right, morning medicine, yeah. The pharmacy's got pills for everything they name. The ailments and the symptoms and the suffering and the pain. But there ain't a single bottle on a single shelf somewhere that treats the unnamed morning way the way she does with care. She comes from dirt and sunlight and the patience of the slow. She was here before the pharmacy and she'll be here when we go. Morning medicine grown from the ancient earth. Something that they cannot patent and they cannot give its word. So every morning when the gray comes rolling through the blinds, I reach across before I reach for anything that binds me to the schedule and the obligation and the week. Morning medicine is the first and only thing I see. Morning medicine, yeah. She gets me on my feet. Morning medicine, yeah. Makes the bitter taste sweet. Morning medicine, in the early light. Morning medicine, yeah. Morning medicine, yeah. Before the sun, morning medicine. She always there. Before the day begins, morning medicine, yeah. Morning medicine, yeah. River, don't hurry, never did. Neither do I, yeah. I went down to the river when the world stopped making sense. Sat on the muddy bank and let the current be my fence. Between the noise behind me and the water moving through, nothing calms a troubled mind like watching brown water do. What brown water does without complaint or hesitation, I pulled her from my pocket in the amber of the evening station, of the sun going low over the cypress on the far side. Muddy waters running past and me sitting satisfied. Muddy waters teach me what I know. Muddy waters moving fast but seeming slow. Everything that's heavy gets picked up by the current. Everything that stays is everything worth learning. Muddy waters rolling by. Muddy waters underneath the copper sky. Muddy waters smoke above the brown. Muddy waters best place in this town to leave it all behind. Muddy waters, yeah. The old bluesmen, they sang about this river and this feeling, the particular communion between the earth and healing of the chest that carries everything the weekdays loaded on. They wrote it down in music and the music's still going on. I am here to what they built beside the river and the song, the leaf and the water and the man who don't belong anywhere except right here between the bank and the deep. Muddy waters keeping all the secrets I keep. Muddy waters teach me what I know. Muddy waters moving fast but seeming slow. Everything that's heavy gets picked up by the current. Everything that stays is everything worth learning. Muddy waters rolling by. Muddy waters underneath the copper sky. Muddy waters smoke above the brown. Muddy waters best place in this town to leave it all behind. Muddy waters, yeah. I dropped a stone and once when I was carrying something heavy, watched it disappear below the surface nice and steady, into the brown oblivion of the moving and the deep. And I thought about the things I ought to likewise let the river keep. The grudge, the grief, the grinding of the years against the grain. The muddy water takes it all and never asks again for anything in return, just the sitting and the smoke and the willingness to let the river speak the old word it spoke. To every blues man who came down here before me, now I leave my heavy down here at the muddy waterside. I come unburdened back to town on the evening tide. The leaf and I communion with the current and the clay. Muddy waters always have the right thing left to say. Muddy waters rolling by. Muddy waters underneath the copper sky. Muddy waters smoke above the brown. Muddy waters best place in this town to leave it all behind. Muddy waters, yeah. Muddy waters, yeah. Rolling on. Muddy waters taking all my weight, yeah. Muddy waters running free. Some things get passed down, not in a will, in the hands, in the knowing. grandfather kept a patch of land behind the cattle shed. Nobody asked about it, and nobody's been led to believe it was anything other than the medicine he grew. Hand-me-down blues is all he ever knew. He wrote it in the corners like his father showed him how, sitting in the same spot, same time, same vow. Silence and appreciation for the earth below. Hand-me-down blues and the things you need to know. Hand-me-down blues from the grandfather's hands. Hand-me-down blues crossing all the lands of the years between his porch and mine tonight. Hand-me-down blues in the sacred and the right of the knowing. Hand-me-down blues passed from hand to hand. Hand-me-down blues, the oldest contraband. Hand-me-down blues, my grandfather's creed. Hand-me-down blues, everything I need came down through the line. Hand-me-down blues, yeah. Yeah. My daddy knew but never spoke a word about it clear. He carried the unspoken in the way he held things dear. He had a different method and a different way of keeping the hand-me-down alive while everyone was sleeping. On the wisdom of the earth and what the earth can do when you treat her like the elder that she's always been to you. Hand-me-down blues in the blood and in the bone. Hand-me-down blues and I never feel alone. Hand-me-down blues from the grandfather's hands. Hand-me-down blues crossing all the lands of the years between his porch and mine tonight. Hand-me-down blues in the sacred and the right of the knowing. Hand-me-down blues passed from hand to hand. Hand-me-down blues, the oldest contraband. Hand-me-down blues, my grandfather's creed. Hand-me-down blues, everything I need came down through the line. Hand-me-down blues, yeah. Now I sit here with the same earth underneath my feet, and the same leaf between my fingers, and the same heartbeat of the ritual that crossed the decades and the fields, and the distance between the porch back then and what tonight yields. I am the latest in a line of men who understood that the earth provides the medicine and the earth is good. Hand-me-down blues is a legacy, not a sin. Hand-me-down blues and the lineage I'm in. So when I light it, I think about the hands that came before the corn husk and the cattle shed, and the unspoken lore of the family that passed the knowledge without the word. Hand-me-down blues, the finest thing I ever heard. Hand-me-down blues passed from hand to hand. Hand-me-down blues, the oldest contraband. Hand-me-down blues, my grandfather's creed. Hand-me-down blues, everything I need came down through the line. Hand-me-down blues, yeah. Hand-me-down blues, yeah. Grandfather's hands, hand-me-down blues, still passing it on, yeah. Hand-me-down blues, the line continues. Me and old dude, same porch, same spot. Every evening, he don't judge. Old Duke is 12 and mostly deaf and moves about as fast as I do. When the bone tired from the work week comes to pass, he claims the right side of the porch and I take the left, and between the two of us there ain't much ambition left. We watch the neighborhood go by at the speed it goes. I light one and old Duke gives it a sniff, and then he knows to settle in for the long slow evening on the boards. Old Porch Dog and me, two kings of our own rewards. Old Porch Dog, don't ask me what I'm doing. Old Porch Dog, too wise for that kind of pursuing. The question with no answer in the evening air. Old porch dog and me, we make a righteous pair. Old porch dog, yeah, he knows what's good. Old porch dog, yeah, like an old dog should. Old porch dog, porch to the grave. Old porch dog, the two of us are safe from the rushing and the noise. Old porch dog, yeah. He was young once and he ran the yard from fence to fence. Now he watches the young dogs with a dignified defense of his position, which is horizontal and supreme. Old Duke has figured out the universe, it seems. I like the second one, and he raises just one brow in the way that says I smell it and I'm with you somehow. Old porch dog theology is simple and refined. The porch is where the heaven is and we leave the rest behind. Old porch dog, don't ask me what I'm doing. Old porch dog, too wise for that kind of pursuing of the question with no answer in the evening air. Old porch dog and me, we make a righteous pair. Old porch dog, yeah, he knows what's good. Old porch dog, yeah, like an old dog should. Old porch dog, porch to the grave. Old porch dog, the two of us are safe from the rushing and the noise. Old porch dog, yeah. The vet said Duke is slowing down, and I said, sir, so am I. We're both proceeding at the speed of the evening sky. You don't need a diagnosis for the right to take it slow. Old porch dog and me, we already know the secret that the hurrying crowd is rushing past is that the evening on the porch is all you need to have it last. Old Duke puts his head across my foot and sighs. Old porch dog in the smoke and the fireflies. Some nights the whole block comes alive with noise and rushing cars, and Duke and I just watch it all beneath the early stars. The smoke rises between us like a conversation. Old porch dog and old me, and the evening getting cold. Old porch dog, yeah, he knows what's good. Old porch dog, yeah, like an old dog should. Porch dog, porch to the grave. Old porch dog, the two of us are safe from the rushing and the noise. Old porch dog, yeah. Old porch dog, yeah, best company. Old porch dog, he don't judge, never did.